Hi guys, good morning. Today I'm just going to kind of like freelance this without writing down my thoughts. I just had a feeling come to and I wanted to talk about it. And it's something that I always see people on social media or everywhere speaking about getting rid of toxic people within your life. And, for the most part, I truly believed in that too, because when you have somebody or anybody, family members, friends who are just always so toxic, it's kind of draining. What do they call it? Vampires? What is they call them? I don't know. I forget what it is that people call them nowadays. But when you do that, one, that is not God's way anyway. That's not coming from love. And the Bible states that, and bear with me because I like to get things correct. I don't want to change any wording from the Bible. Okay, it's in Matthew 7:5. Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. And that is saying that you can't help somebody else and criticize somebody else for their problems. You can't help them fix their issues in life or whatever it is without fixing yourself. And that kind of goes back to what laws of attraction is stating, that like energy attracts like energy, that whatever is within yourself, the other person is going to be, because whatever you speak or whatever you are feeling inside is a reflection of who you are. If you speak good things, then you are exactly what you're speaking about. But if you are speaking about how terrible the world is, how terrible this person is, or whatever thing is bothering you, that is what you are feeling inside about yourself that you are not dealing with. Of course, back in the day when I was hiding from the world, that was my way of handling life or handling bad people and bad situations. I hid from the world. I didn't have friends. I didn't want to speak to people. And I tried to get out of every single relationship because it was easier. Because then I didn't have to face the fact that I was the one who needed to be fixed. Whatever you are feeling on the inside is a reflection of your own issues that you aren't resolving. And if you want a good marriage, if you want a good job, if you want a good best friend relationship, whatever it is, it starts with you. You have to clean up your own being in order to have that greater relationship. And it even goes with your relationship with God. If you do not clean up your limiting beliefs about who God really is, or being doubtful of what God provides and does for you in your life, you can't strengthen your relationship with God. So it is so important to fix who you are, because none of us are made perfect. Yet, by admitting our own failures, we are perfect. Because of Christ, we are perfect. And through our weakness, we are made perfect. But always accusing somebody else blaming the world and saying, well, it's their fault. It's this, it's that. No, it is you. It's what's in your heart, what you are believing about someone else. So I am convicted with that if you start little by little by fixing who you thought you were in the first place. Because when we are struggling in life, we are not being who we are supposed to be, who God created us to be. We are supposed to be superb beings created by God within His own image and likeness. And God is a spirit who is within us all. So that means that we all are great spirits, only here having a human experience right now, until we are corrected into being our true spiritual self, our higher self, living with a higher level of consciousness. We are so focused on the ego mind, on what this world is conforming us to be, that we are lacking. We aren't being what humans are supposed to do, who God created us human beings to be. Adam and Eve lived the best life until what? The devil came around and offered the ego. Offered, here, if you eat this, you can see every single thing that God sees. God sees everything, good and bad, because He is God. And now look, here we are, being able to see good and bad in the world. And we choose to always focus on the bad and on the lacking, instead of all of His original plan for life was to prosper and to give and provide and succeed and not to ever go without. I mean, can you imagine how we would be if the devil didn't want to have control? Where would we be? We would all be in this Garden of Eden, living our lives to the fullest, being happy, having everything we wanted within our grasp, except that fruit on the tree that we weren't supposed to touch. One thing that we weren't supposed to eat of, and we decided, well, I want to see what God sees. Well, now here we are, seeing what He sees, and we were all lacking, we're all struggling. That is why we have choices in life, because of the ego mind, because of the offer that the devil provided us. And until we allow the ego to not control by what we hear, see, smell, taste, and touch, we can experience God's true gift of life, of everlasting life. Not just what we are promised in the afterlife, but it's His promise that if we abide by His laws through the blood of the Lamb, which is Jesus Christ, we have all of His blessings now, here while we live.